We're going to look up on some history of YouTube itself to see where they've come from, where they started, what their original idea was, and how they evolved to the point of being the streaming giant that they are today, basically. So I'm going to go over to this next slide. Okay, so why was YouTube created? So originally, the three founders of YouTube, let me just check here. Yeah, the three founders of YouTube. So the story shared on media goes that the three friends were at a dinner party where they took some videos. After the dinner party, they wanted to share these videos with each other, but they couldn't find a platform on the internet that made this easy and possible for them. So they eventually created a video streaming site where it's easy for people to share a video to a number of people. And here, so okay, that's the nice media story that everybody gets told. The actual reason why they created YouTube was in 2004. Janet Jackson had an incident in the Super Bowl show where one of her breasts were exposed. And also in 2004, there was the Indian Ocean tsunami. So Karim, the one founder, tried looking online for these videos. He couldn't find it easily, and they eventually thought of creating this video platform where you can share these kinds of videos or any content, basically, that you would like to get out to the world. So that's the actual story. They've also denied the dinner party actually ever happening. That might have just been some marketing on their part. So YouTube was initially launched in April 23rd. No, sorry, this was the first video. It was the 14th of February, sorry. That's when the domain name was initially bought by the three founders, and they started building the website on their platform. And then it was launched in April as a beta. And some of the first video, well, actually the first video that was posted on YouTube, let me just open up this little window. I hope everybody can see there. So this was the first video posted on YouTube by one of the co-founders, Karim. I hope that's how you say his name. And it was entitled Me at the Zoo. And it's a very short video of 18 seconds. I'm going to play it for you guys on here.
The sound doesn't play.
Is it not playing? Okay, let me quickly turn on the volume here. Is that better?
Still nothing. Or is it just me?
I'm not sure. It should be playing. Okay. Well, it's basically just the creator at the zoo. He says there's some elephants behind him, and the great thing about these elephants is they have really long trunks. And then he says, yeah, and that's about it. And the video ends. This was the first video posted to the YouTube platform. You can see here it has 95 million views, which is still not even the most views that some of the videos on YouTube has had. And then later on, so YouTube wasn't the first video streaming site on the internet. It's actually Vimeo that was the first streaming site. And this was a side project of College Humor, probably a group of people that most or some of you would know. They post a lot of videos on Facebook, but they didn't put in a lot of attention on the site. And eventually, the first viral video on the internet was by a group called Lonely Island. And they did a Saturday Night Live skit where they, they basically did a song, Lazy Sunday. And this was posted to the YouTube platform and became the first ever viral video, so to speak. Yeah, so that's some history of how YouTube began. They didn't do a lot of marketing at the beginning. It was mostly Saturday Night Live that actually gave them a lot of coverage with that video, and a lot of people going to their platform to also see this funny video. So there's no sound now, but I'm going to post a link here in the chat for you guys if you want to check it out at some point. Yeah, yes. Lonely Island is great. So there's a link if you guys want to see the first ever viral video that was created. Okay, yeah, and then we fast forward, let's say a few years later. I don't even think, I think it's like 1 or 2 years later, where the first biggest YouTube channel was created. And this was created by a person called Ray William Johnson. I'm going to go over here to him. There'll probably be no sound. I'm just going to mute it here. But this is the guy who had the first biggest YouTube channel on YouTube. And he followed a very basic set of rules of what he was doing. He made short videos where he reviews 3 funny videos, and at the end he views some of his comments that he gets on his page. So it's a very basic recipe that he basically used to get a lot of views. A lot of people enjoyed seeing him react. Basically, it was basically the first reaction channel and also the first biggest channel on YouTube. Let me just continue on with the slide here. Okay, so yeah, and his channel was called =3 when he started off. It's funny because if you type out the symbol, you'll probably see why, but that got him a lot of followers. And yeah, let me get in here. Okay, so then I have a question for the rest of you who's on the chat. Can anybody tell me who is the biggest YouTube channel currently on the platform?
Isn't it this boy doing some funny stuff? I forgot his name, but like it's a young boy I know, as far as I can remember. Maybe I'm wrong.
Is he called PewDiePie?
What, the game?
I guess, yeah. Like he just do comments on stuff, and people just watch him for that.
Yes.
I'm not sure.
So actually, there's so much history in YouTube that we'll be exploring maybe in like a separate little talk. But currently, the biggest YouTube channel is a channel called T-Series. I'm going to quickly run over here, get this in the search. So T-Series, unfortunately, it's not a person, but as you can see here, they have 139 million subscribers, and they generated this in about a year, I think. And one of the reasons their channel became this big is because it was one of the first Indian YouTube channels to basically post all their music and all their music videos onto this channel. But also because PewDiePie, the one that you just mentioned, he was the biggest channel, let's say about, I think a year and a half ago. He was the biggest channel, and his community is very tightly knit. It's a lot of people. They have their own Reddit communities. They speak a lot. And this was kind of like a funny little online war that was going on, where it's they subscribe to PewDiePie. Some people might have heard that in the news after some things happened, which I'll speak about just now. But this basically generated a lot of subscribers for both T-Series and PewDiePie himself. But unfortunately, the thing is, T-Series is a company, so they have teams of people working on marketing, getting videos out, doing regular posting. Whereas PewDiePie, he is a really good creator as well himself, but he's also just one person. So technically seeing PewDiePie as the biggest current YouTube channel is not a bad thing, because the channel was originally created for creators themselves, not for big companies, even though it is more leaning towards that direction these days. So yeah, that's actually some of the interesting history that I wanted to go to here in the next part. So PewDiePie started off also with a very basic recipe. He played games and he reacted on games, and he played horror games and he reacted on those games, and people liked seeing a real person reacting to these games. I don't know, maybe he does make a lot of people feel comfortable and is as if he's like one of their friends. So I think that's a big reason why he got a lot of followers and viewers along the way. And then as history has went on, so YouTube has really developed into a great platform, both good and bad. On YouTube, you can find or post anything from your daily life up until new science discoveries. You can learn on YouTube, you can relax, you can listen to music. It's a very big platform for creators, and it helps creators also get recognized and make some money. We're not going to speak about the money part of YouTube just yet, because that's a little bit intricate. But yeah, if we go here, you get pages like Kursgesagt, and they follow a basic recipe. They post interesting animations of science and life in general, and they help educate people and children and anybody anywhere in the world basically about interesting subjects in a nutshell. Short little videos to explain science to people. You get everything from that up to Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast also has a basic recipe. He's a rich kid, as you can see here with the money in front of him. And his recipe is he takes his money and spends it online on good things. So he bought a house for his one a cameraman, I think. He planted 250 million trees. Yeah, so that's basically his recipe, and some of the good things also to come out of YouTube itself. So do you guys have any questions before we move on to the next part and get into how we're going to start a YouTube channel and what our aims and goals would be?
Nope, you can go on.
Okay. Okay, so there's some history on YouTube. Let's get into it. So before we even start creating or posting to YouTube, the site's been around for a long time. So there are some things that you need to figure out and establish before you even create your YouTube channel. There's no perfect recipe for YouTube, as we have channels of people throwing eggs that get millions of views, and that completely won't even fit into the lesson that we're doing today. So, but we're just going to go to some tried and tested methods of how companies would start YouTube channels. And even if you yourself are starting a YouTube channel, this would be applicable to basically all of these points. So first, we're going to start off by identifying the goal of our YouTube channel. So this is why we want to create a YouTube channel. Is it because you are passionate about something and you would like to show this to the world, be it animation, making videos, doing comedy? Is your goal for this channel educating people? Or is your goal for this channel just advertising or doing marketing on this channel? Is the goal of the channel getting more coverage for a company? Let's say Stuff Magazine want to start doing podcasts with actual video to post this onto YouTube. So we would, first thing we would need to do is to define our goal. What is it that we're after? And basically, what is the end result? Where do we want to get with our YouTube channel? Secondly, after we've figured out why we would like to make a YouTube channel, we're going to find out what our target audience is. We will identify our target audience. This is very much in line with things like UX design and even graphic design. When a client comes to you and says, I need this designed, or I need this kind of system, you're going to have to figure out what the audience wants. You're still going to execute your goal, but you're going to have to do it in a fashion where the audience that you're targeting will be happy, and they'll come back and they'll keep on giving you views and supporting your channel. So this can be anything from PewDiePie as a example. His first target audience were just younger kids, 12-year-olds and younger. He yelled a lot on his channel, you know, the weird things that kids would do, and it resonated with other children. And it seems there was a lot of children on YouTube in the time that he started, and he got a huge following from that point on. But his target audience has evolved. Up until this point, they call his audience the 9-year-old army, but it's more just a joke of the people that actually started following him 10 years ago that are now themselves in their 20s working, you know. And it's nice seeing a channel like his. He's successful because he changes with the times and changes what his audience would want to see, because his audience is also changing. Yeah, so you're gonna have to figure out yeah, basically your age groups, who you want to target, and yeah, and you'll go on to the next point. So our next point is figuring out a schedule. So most successful YouTube channels have a schedule that they follow, be it posting 1 video a week or a month, or 3 videos a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is you should make it a comfortable schedule in the sense that it's comfortable for you to have time every day to sit down, take your video or do your animations or record your audio and assemble your video, so that you can get into that schedule, because an audience like to know when they're going to see more of you, especially when they enjoy your content. So this will keep people coming back, especially if you have a I wouldn't say a rigid, but you know, like a stable schedule, and you keep to that schedule. Even when you start out, you might get 1 view or 2 views making your videos, but the best is keeping to that schedule, because that's what people are going to see when they start coming to your page, when they get either referred there, or if YouTube promotes you in that sense. Yeah, and people will know exactly when they can see you, when they'll get more of your content, and when to expect more of the content as well. Okay, and if we figured out our schedule and how we're going to run that, make a little calendar for yourself, set it up, keep to that, tell yourself you're going to get up at 9 a.m. in the morning, you have 1 hour, let's say between 12 and 1, and that 1 hour you're going to start off, take some footage, do some audio, and then later that day after work at 5, you can start editing, and let's say by 6 or 7, you have your video online. So keeping to that schedule really helps, and it'll definitely pull a lot more viewers to your page in that sense. And then next, we're going to need to get the right tools. So the right tools would be everything from what you would need, like a microphone that I have here, a little condenser microphone, to just bring your audio through a bit clearer. I hope this one is actually clear. And is things like a sound card or a camera, or if you're not going to do live footage and you want to do animation, your tools would be getting, let's say, Adobe Animate and After Effects and Premiere Pro to pull your videos. Luckily, YouTube has grown a lot, so they give you a lot of tools online that you can actually use without having to pay money. But if you're more comfortable with other tools, you're going to have to look at what the goal is for your channel, what you're going to do, and then from that you can deduce basically what the tools are that you would need to create your videos on a regular basis. The easiest way for you to get them out there and to get a lot of content onto your page, basically. Okay, and then I've spoken a lot about recipes as well from the start, basically. So that's a very important point, actually. As you can see, all of the bigger channels have a recipe that they follow. Like we said with Ray William Johnson, he has a very simple yet effective recipe. He takes 3 funny videos, he comments on them, and he ends that all off with showing some comments of his own followers. And that gives the followers of their page a sense of, you know, interaction, basically, with the channel. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people watch YouTube, is because it's actually just normal people. It's a lot more real than television. And sometimes you just want to see normal people doing what they love. And yeah, so you basically decide on your recipe. Keep it simple. What are you going to do? Are you going to do animated skits of a game? Let's say funny skits from a certain game that you like to animate? Are you going to do like, what's these? There's a very bad trend of videos actually going around, but the one thing is people going around giving money to poor people. I don't see that as a good thing, because I feel you don't have to video poor people taking your money. But that's all. It also gets deduced down to what would be your recipe for your videos. So at the moment, my recipe for my videos is me playing games for long, because I live stream. So I don't actually create videos. I have been busy doing some music and working on my own schedule as well, to also execute these points here. Let's I'm going to see if I can get a nice little example of a good recipe. Let's go here to PewDiePie's page. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna here. Okay, so if we go into his channel here, I don't know if he's actually titled them. Okay, but he has a few that he does these days. One of it is doing Minecraft videos, and it's just getting onto Minecraft, playing, doing funny things, and building weird structures. One of his other recipes is Lawai, which is Last Week I Asked You. And it's basically just his community posting on Reddit. They post memes, they post questions, funny videos, and he goes onto Reddit, reviews these videos, and basically communicates back to his audience. This is a recipe that he's figured out that is effective for him, and he basically, yeah, that's basically what he uses. And when you go over to Kurz Gesagt, or In a Nutshell, their recipe is animated, interesting, short videos about science and daily things that people wonder about. So do you guys have any questions for me?
It is very clear from my side so far. Thank you.
Awesome. Oh, sorry, I haven't even seen the chat here. Yes, T-Series is definitely PewDiePie's rival. So some extra history of, on YouTube. YouTube has caused a lot of things to happen in the world. Unfortunately, good things and bad things. Like, we look at the good things that Mr. Beast has brought to the world, basically what he's giving back to the rest of the community. But then also bad things happening, like in the times where subscribe to PewDiePie was basically a meme. It was just a funny thing that they used on their group. Unfortunately, the gunman in, I think it was in New Zealand. There was a gunman at a mosque there. This gunman used that exact phrase on a live feed on YouTube just before he went into the church. So YouTube has definitely made its mark on history, and it's definitely in a powerful position to change ways that people think and what they do and how they do it. Yeah, unfortunately, PewDiePie himself has went through a lot of these times because he's been along with YouTube, and he, unfortunately, he grew up on YouTube, basically. So himself, getting back to recipes, when you get a recipe and sticking to it and only changing it a little bit as you go along, as PewDiePie did his videos and he did his scare reactions, and he got a contract with Disney doing these to do a YouTube Red show and to get an actual television show. And this is where he made a big mistake in his YouTube career. He tried changing his recipe from just doing reactions and gaming to trying to go into politics. This cost him a lot in the long run, unfortunately, because him being young, his first like foot into politics was him taking on a site called Fiverr. I think some of you should know Fiverr as well. So on Fiverr, you can basically go get any service that you need, and you pay a small amount of money, and these people will render the service for you. In the time where this happened, Fiverr was actually, exploiting the users and the people working on their platform. And he tried proving this by paying two men from India to do a weird dance with a clay pot and take a sign out of the clay pot and hold it up above them that says "Kill all Jews." So this isn't a representation of how he feels. This was more a thing of showing you how the site is exploiting people, how he could pay $5 to let people actually do this. But this unfortunately caused a lot of backlash and did not get the reaction that he was going for. It caused him to lose his contracts, get a lot of bad press on different news media. So yeah, that's why creating a recipe and sticking with your recipe and changing as little as possible with your evolving audience is the best way to look at it. So if you get a recipe that works for you and you see your audience enjoys this, stick to that recipe, look at their comments, yeah, and change with the times, basically how they're changing. Okay. Okay. So then we'll go over to yeah, after you've got your recipe, you're going to start thinking of a style for your channel. So you'll see on my little stream here, I've got my green frame around myself, and I've got this little pink overlay. So I'm using the colors pink and green to communicate the style of my page. This is not applicable to everyone. As I said, you get weird pages with a lot of views that don't follow any of these rules. It's just you know, sometimes people like seeing weird things. That's the recipe that works for them. It's just post weird videos. But yeah, so you're going to decide on a style for your channel. So that's how you would take your videos, what your animation style would be. Even the length of your videos would go into your style. Do you make short 6 to 8 minutes videos, or do you do long talks where you do half an hour videos like most podcasters that you get on YouTube as well? And also, yeah, we spoke about the color palette, and yeah, your style will also go with your schedule and what you've decided to stick to, and that will, yeah, basically create the mood and a good impression for the people following you and the people who decide to join your community. Okay. And then your channel's name. So naming has no rules to go with it. that's more a thing where you can explore yourself, get a name that doesn't have a lot of numbers in it. There is one person that worked very hard to get far. His name is Davey504. It's one of the few, I think actually only channels that have, you know, the numbery thing at the back of the account that does well. But it's better to stick with one word type of thing, so that people can just reach you easily. It's easier to type in 4 letters than having to type in 4 words to get to the page that you're actually looking for. But there is some freedom there. It's just being creative. Yeah. Okay, and then the next thing will be actually creating your YouTube account and all your auxiliary social media accounts. Is everybody still on board? If any questions?
Quick question.
Yes.
You were talking about recipes. What kind of recipe are you currently using for your YouTube channel?
So my recipe is just long gaming videos of Apex Legends specifically. It's a game that I play. And synthwave music in the background that I've also started producing myself now. So that's basically what we're going for on my channel. I'm going to start a little sub-channel, which will basically just be synthwave music videos, and that'll be the recipe that I follow on that page, is making synthwave videos out of 80s footage from you know, sci-fi movies or rockets or anything from the 80s, basically. That will be the recipe that I'm going to follow for that.
Okay, that Apex thing, I think my son is currently downloading that game.
Yeah, you should. Good luck.
Yeah, it's been like days that it's downloading.
Yeah. Cool. Anybody else? Any questions that you want to ask? Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to get on to the next part here. Okay, so this next part, I'm going to be basically ending with the next part. That will be creating your YouTube account and your auxiliary social media accounts. After you've established what you're going to do, what your recipes would be, your schedule, your style for your channel, then you'll actually go in. I'm going to get over to this window right here. So you'll make yourself a YouTube account first before you create a channel, which is pretty easy and self-explanatory when you go into YouTube and you create an account. But when you're done with that, you'll get to your YouTube home. Let's go to the YouTube home page right here. Okay. So here at the top right, you'll get your little icon. I'm currently signed in on my page. It's actually, I'm going to do a little separate page here and create a channel on that one so we can start off new. Just give me one moment. Okay. Sorry. Okay, well, basically, you'll get a little tab up here that says your channel when you've created your YouTube account. And when you go over to this, here will be my channel. Let me just switch these subscribers. Sorry. Over to this one. Okay. You'll get a little tab here for customizing your channel. So this is basically how we will start off. Get into the name here, sorry. Okay, and your little gear right there. No, this would not be it. Seems there's been a little bit of an update since I was here last time. Ah, here it would be. Okay. So because YouTube has been bought out by Google, you would need to go onto your Google account from here. Go over to the brand account there. Yeah, and here you will change your name for your channel. Let me just double check here. Sorry, guys. I think there was a little bit of an update, so it's moved around some things here. Just going to open a little separate tab here. If anybody has any questions, you can just ask me here. I'm just quickly going to get this one up here in the sidebar. Okay.
So Heath, do you want to just walk us through, like speak out loud about what you're doing and what's not working?
Yes, I'm so sorry. The little button that says create new channel has moved. So I'm quickly just getting that, and then I can go through this whole bit. So sorry, just give me 1 minute to figure out where exactly they've put it.
Because what we can do is we can just maybe show them how to upload the video in the meantime, because that would be an easy enough thing for them to do. They already have an existing Google account, because they would automatically sort of log in the way you have, and then they would move to the step of how do they actually upload.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I'm going to go over back to this screen here, the little web page. Okay, so I'm going to figure out where that button is for create new page. And then I will tell you guys, but we're going to go over to posting a video. So once you get in your channel, you'll go onto the YouTube studio, which is this part where we're at now. And it's very easy. You have your little upload videos button right here. This will go over to the part of posting your first video. And let me actually get a video in here that we can post. Okay, so you can just, when you're done with your video, you can drag and drop it over onto here. It's gonna plop down right there now. Okay. And they'll start off your title with the title of the file name that you put in here. So with me doing music in this video, we're gonna start off with it'll be the title of the song. This will be going into our description. So our title for this one is Face Bump, and the artist is Neo Panda, and we can do a release date. This is basically, if you're doing music, you want to put as much info in here as possible for any footage that you used, anybody that worked with you on this song. You can put all these details in here. I can't even remember the release date of my own song, but we'll do that at some point. And then of course, when you're using, let's say, little snippets of other people's videos, that's called fair use policy. If you use, like, let's say 2 or 3 seconds of a certain video of something that's not copyrighted, but it always helps thanking whoever's content you used in your description. It helps show people that it's not you that created it, and that the recognition actually goes to the right person. I'm gonna do this. Let me check the date here. Okay. And once you're done putting in all your info, we're going to go over to creating a thumbnail. I'm not sure if it's still uploading here on my side, but you can either upload a custom thumbnail in here, and a lot of people use this as a strategy. They do clickbait, so they'll edit some pictures together to make it look like something sensational that you would like to see. But I'll usually just use a little snippet of something that's in the video itself. And this will be the main image displayed on your video when it's not being played and when it's being seen in a library when you go through other videos. So we're not going to talk about playlists, but you can create a playlist and add all these videos in here. Playlists help when you want people to view more of your videos. So you would rather create a playlist if you have, let's say, 5 songs, and you want people who start on one song to automatically get led to the next one that's also on your channel. So this is where you'll create a playlist and put your videos one after the other, so you get more view time and you show more videos to people coming onto your page. And then, of course, like establishing your audience as well. If it's made for kids, of course, you're not going to curse and show violence and that. So you can mark it here that yes, it's made for kids. Or if it's something else that you feel might not be appropriate for children, you can mark it as it's not made for kids, and this will put an automatic age restriction onto your video and keep you out of trouble. Yeah, and then here you can put an age restriction in as well, and make sure that people get asked what their age is before they actually enter your video. Okay, so it looks like my thumbnails are up here. So we're gonna select this big strong guy right here, because that's weird enough. Okay. Now here you can add either an end screen for your video to you know, keep it cohesive. If you have a certain outro that you want to play on your videos, you can use it here. And these little cards are anything for ads for merch, or taking people to a different page, or even just taking them to a different video inside your own YouTube channel, or maybe a website outside of your YouTube channel, like your own website. You can add these little cards in, and those are the cards that you see at the end of YouTube videos, the little screens that pop up everywhere, usually like pointing towards that. And that helps people get a bit deeper into your channel as well. We're going to go over to the next one here. So if you're just posting videos for yourself that you would like to share with your family, you're not going after a YouTube channel, you just want to make videos and share that with your family and friends, you can of course make it a private video. And only people that you send a link or that you choose will be able to see this video. Well, that will be the unlisted one where you work with a link. But I'll just go public, because we want it to be seen by the public. And we're not going to set this as a premiere, because we haven't done any marketing or planning for a video to come up on this page. So we don't need to schedule it as a premiere. Something like a premiere you would do for a launch of a company, or a launch of your album, or a short film that you've been working on for long. You'll set this as a premiere and give it an actual date when it would premiere. And this will send a notification out to all your subscribers and people following you, and they'll know the exact time when to come on and when they can see the video. And like most social media pages, you can now schedule your posts as well. And this is just to, if you know what time slot you need to post in and you're keeping to your schedule, then you can add this into your schedule, maybe even make some videos ahead of time that get automatically uploaded onto this schedule. We're not going to use this either. So I'm just going to mark it as save and publish for the public. Okay. And that will be how you publish your first video. So next time we talk, I'll go over the design elements of your header and your little profile picture coming in here, your channel picture. I will also figure out where that button disappeared to create a new channel on your YouTube.
Yeah, I was also searching for it. I can't find it. I honestly have no idea where to put it. They might have put it in the YouTube studio, like the be in the old version, you know, the
yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I'm going to figure out where it is, and I will send out the slides with a little updated slide just showing exactly where that part of YouTube is. Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I literally posted a video like last week and it was different. So cool. Does anybody else have any questions for me? Anything I didn't cover, or anything that you would like to know extra?
So you have the advantage of being able to do the video editing, but you also make music. What would people like us that don't necessarily have the sound design skills, if we don't have that, what are the alternatives for us for sound design?
The alternatives for sound design, well, are you speaking more about the software tools or the physical tools that you need?
not necessarily the tools, but for content? Like, where would we find sound?
Oh, okay. So there are a lot of sites online that give you specifically free-to-use royalty-free sounds. You can use these, but YouTube itself has tools exactly for this. I'm just going to get in here quick and get into the YouTube studio. So they give you free music on YouTube itself that you can use. You'll hear a lot of similar songs from different videos on YouTube. So this means that they're actually using the built-in music and sound effects that YouTube actually put on their video editor. Let me just see if I can find it here. And then it's just an audio library. So yeah, but you'll definitely be able to start off without using any money, because YouTube gives you the ability to make good content from the start without having to spend money in that sense.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. You'll see a lot of these do-it-yourself cooking videos use one specific song that are all the same, and that is from YouTube, basically.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
Does anybody have questions? You guys can unmute and maybe ask some questions if you want.
I'm open.
I have a question.
Yes.
You were talking about like your auxiliary social media accounts. Do you start your YouTube channel first and then go into those, or what?
So it would be best starting your auxiliary accounts first, because that gives you the backup for marketing that you would need for your page. So you'll start off with, let's say, Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and then you'll start promoting your page on those platforms before you actually publish it and before you get your first video live. So this will give people an idea of when you plan to start, when they can expect your first video. And yeah, that helps a lot with the marketing of your own page.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, no problem. Okay, cool.
Okay, nice. That was very comprehensive, Heath, and I enjoyed the history as well. That background story, I didn't actually know that. And who would have thought that the video was so random?
Yeah, it's usually how these bigger platforms start out.
But one thing, I didn't know that Lonely Island was the first viral video. Like, so that was quite neat. I love them. I think they did this.
No, me too. They actually released a new movie as well that's pretty good. So yeah, I think YouTube helped them just as much as they helped YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I think that we can close off. And is there any, before we stop actually, is there any parts that you guys would like to discuss in the follow-up session of YouTube? Do you guys want to either unmute or write it in the chat?
Yeah. Cool. we're going to get to that part.
No, Lutando straight went to the point.
That is definitely planned in my next part. How to start making money on YouTube.
So did you not bring that topic up because you haven't figured it out yet, or is it really that complicated?
It's not that it's complicated. It's just it does come last, the making money part, both in doing your YouTube channel and also in the planning of your YouTube channel. So that is, yeah, it's strange because you can make a lot of money or you can get less than minimum wage salary. It all depends on how well your channel does. But that's what we're going to explore in the next part, is looking at your audience, defining the audience that you got, even if they're different from the original audience that you've planned for, and how to move from that point to get more views out of that audience and to be more entertaining for that audience that you've built.
I've got a question.
Yes.
To be able to make money, is there any steps you need to take on as a YouTube channel, like certain amount of subscriber or a certain amount of views?
Yes.
Right? You need to reach 2,000, I guess.
Yeah. So there is like let's say challenges that you have to get through.
Yeah.
So the first challenge would be getting more than 2,000 views on one of your videos.
Oh,
and at that point, I think it moved to 2,000.
And then it's even harder now.
Yeah, and then it's for every 2,000 views that you get about, I think, $1. So there's a little bit of math behind that as well.
Yeah.
And then also things like keeping to your schedule and working out a good schedule. That'll also give you an idea of how much you can make in the end. So you'll start seeing averages of, let's say, you get 100,000 views, but you post 5 videos a week. So that amounts to 500,000 views. And then you can like make that more or make it more comfortable for you. And
yeah, so we need certain level of consistency to be able to get into that pool. So YouTube is actually putting you through tests to see if you are disciplined enough, consistent enough, and you need to reach 1,000 subscriber first to be able to get into that pool. And then, like as he says, 2,000 view. So you can't just, unfortunately, open an account and start making money. And I also saw that, I was very disappointed. So probably because this is a protection for, like, imagine there is like very heat stuff happening around the world. Anybody could make money, upload something from like coronavirus and like get million view and make money. But YouTube is more focusing on the channel owners' consistency and they represent in the channel if they are constantly there or not.
Yes,
That's
definitely. They're also still a company and they sell ads to bigger companies as well. So they need to get that level of consistency to actually show their clients, the people buying ads from them, that they're going to get a difference in like business, basically.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. That's the business part of that. And there's a lot of things that goes with that. Like even the big thing would be sticking to your schedule. Even if you have one viewer and it's your grandma, and it stays like that for months on end, you have to stick to that schedule because at some point it will happen, and then people want to see that you're actually working on it, and they're going to get more content out of you when they actually follow you.
Yeah, also the most of the channels becomes more meaningful when there is enough content in it. Like imagine going channel and you only see one video, you likely to prejudge quickly, it's a new channel, there isn't much, and you leave. But when you go into channel and see like maybe 10 videos and you're like, what is this about? And you spend time in it. That's why also consistency is very important. Like just don't get down and just keep posting. It will happen at some point.
It will. Yeah. You just have to keep at it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I suppose it's like that in anything, because if you're consistent, creative, and have good content, then you don't have to worry because the money comes after anyway.
I think the overall social media is same for everywhere. As you say, Shezwe, you have to be consistent. Otherwise, you can't create that hub, because you are creating a world in your channel and you're inviting people to in your world, so they need to see stuff. But it was very nice. Thank you so much.
I'm glad, you guys. Next, we'll go over to the fun part on the next one, actually getting videos and things out there.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, thanks for Heath. That was really nice.
Cool. Thank you for the opportunity. I hope I actually learned everybody at least one thing. So
we definitely learned more than one thing. Thank you.
I'm glad. Cool, guys.
Does anybody have any closing comments?